Hey, I'm Football Diehards Senior Editor Bob Harris. It's time for the Week 13 injury preview, review, update, and overview. It's something we do here every Saturday. For those of you just catching up, we're getting ready to set lineups and you have been following along all week. You can consider this your starting point. I'll give you all this week's pertinent lineup and injury issues and do them in chronological order so you have an understanding of possible fallbacks you'll need to have in place based on kickoff time. As always, I'll remind you, I record this in the early afternoon. Today it's about 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and things will change. As soon as I'm done recording, things will change. Once you've watched this video, hit the late breaking updates section of the site for any possible updates that come there, or better still, hit the FSP staff cheat sheet. It's kind of your one-stop shop. We'll link to all the latest information for every player, all in one location. If one of your guys is ranked way lower, there's probably a reason why. Click the link and find out why. Or conversely, someone higher than you expect, also probably a reason. So with that, let's remind you there are teams on bye, 6 of them. Ravens, Bills, Bears, Vikings, Giants, Raiders. I know it's like more like 4.5 teams, but 6 teams. Get those players out of your lineup so you don't get caught short. We'll go through the Sunday early afternoon window first. The Cardinals are at the Steelers. Marquise Hollywood-Brown and Trey McBride both listed as questionable. The same heel injury for Brown that he played through last week. McBride has a groin injury. He practiced limited basis Friday, said he would play. Brown didn't practice at all this week, but Jonathan Gannon says he's still trending in the right direction. So those you'll need to watch as we get closer to kickoff early Sunday. Michael Wilson has been ruled out for this game. Steelers side, everyone's good to go. New upgraded offense. They had 400 yards offense for the first time in forever. Pat Freiermuth, a big deal. So a big part of that last week in the running backs as well. Great matchup against Arizona, who will be down 2 cornerbacks this week as well. The Falcons are at the Jets. Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, and Israel Abanikanda all listed as questionable. Hamstring issue for Breece Hall. He worked fully on Friday. Expect him to play. Cook has a shoulder injury. It's something he's dealt with throughout the course of his career, at least in recent years. Robert Saleh said he'll be fine. And Abanikanda was an illness, so he'll probably go. Also, Aaron Rodgers, back to practice. He's not going to play this week, but the practice window's open. He's aiming for a Week 16 return, I believe it is. So December 24th, so watch for that. You'll probably hear something about it, I'm guessing, over the course of time here as we get closer. Matt Collins on the other side of the ball list is questionable. Hasn't played for a couple weeks. Not a big factor. Hopefully you're not having to dig that deep. Rushing attack is where it's at. Bijan Robinson should continue to get heavy usage. Has had it the last couple of weeks and made hay with it, right? The Jets, tough defense, but not as tough against the run. So, Robinson, maybe even Tyler Algier, Cordero Patterson, if you're in a pinch on a 6-team bye week, might also be in play. The Panthers are at the Buccaneers. New coach for the Panthers. So that'll be something to watch there. Chris Tabor taking over for Frank Reich, who was fired on Monday. Thomas Brown moves back in as the play caller. He held that role for 3 weeks before Reich took it back. I don't know if we should expect a sea change or a offensive renaissance with this change, but it has been made. So Tommy Tremble, the tight end, Hayden Hurst, the tight end, hip and concussion. Tremble is doubtful. Hurst has been ruled out, so expect neither of them to play. Laviska Shenault Jr. placed on IR this week with an ankle injury. He won't be available. Chris Godwin for the Buccaneers, added back to the injury report, has a neck injury. He aggravated it on Thursday. He is listed as questionable, and Todd Bowles called him a true game time decision. The Lions are at the Saints. Chris Olave was concussed last week. That's not good, but he's practiced this week, practiced fully Friday. He's listed as questionable, but probably just awaiting final clearance. So that'll be something to watch. I think he has a good chance of playing, assuming he shows up symptom-free throughout up until kickoff. Seems like he's in a good spot. Blake Grupe, the kicker, is listed as questionable with a right groin issue. I have not seen them sign anybody. You'll want to check the late-breaking news section to see if they made any roster moves that might hint that Grupe is going to be out. Kendra Miller and Rashid Shaheed are out. A.T. Perry moves up in the receiving rotation a little bit, so watch for that as well. Juwan Johnson might be a good play at tight end there too this week. The Colts, and everyone good to go for the Lions. David Montgomery came off the injury report. He had a little bit of a foot issue early in the week. Colts at Titans, Jonathan Taylor out 2 to 3 weeks after thumb surgery early this week. Zach Moss moves into the starting role. It's tough to run against the Tennessee Titans, except for Zach Moss in week 7. The last time we saw him starting, he had like 165 rushing yards, another 30 yards through the air, 195 total yards on the day. Don't know that I'd expect that, but you can hope. Treylon Burks, hoping to come back from a concussion, has practiced this week, listed as questionable. He too awaits final clearance. Hopefully we'll get some word on that, whether it's today or heading into kickoff tomorrow. Don't know that you need to force him into lineups, but you might be in a pinch. Again, there's a lot of teams on bye. Dolphins and Commanders, everyone's in the clear. Everyone includes Tyreek Hill, missed a little practice time off the injury report. Devon Achane returning from the aggravating his knee, the knee issue that had him on IR earlier this season. Then he came back, hurt it again, missed 2 games since. Now he is back and off the injury report altogether. Raheem Mostert also off the injury report, continues to deal with ankle and knee issues, continues to play well regardless. Chargers with the Patriots. Keenan Allen listed as questionable officially with a bruised thigh. He talked about it, called it a nick. Brandon Staley suggested we would know, or the team would know, before they travel to New England. I'm watching for signs that he's made or not made the trip, but based on what he said Friday, Keenan Allen, I would expect him to be playing in this one despite the questionable designation, but you'll need to watch for more. On the other side of the ball, Demario Douglas, the wide receiver, has been ruled out. He has a concussion. Not good. Keyshawn Boutte also ruled out. So thin receiving core there. Ezekiel Elliott listed as questionable with a thigh issue. Seems likely to go, but you'll need to watch that. Sunday, the late afternoon window, the 49ers and the Eagles, the game of the week. And it looks like everyone will be good to go. Jordan Mason for the Eagles listed as questionable. Ray McLeod also listed as questionable. Hamstring issue for Jordan Mason. Hopefully they don't have to dig that deep. Dallas Goedert listed as doubtful. He did get on the practice field. Seems unlikely to return this week, but he's getting closer. Again, I mentioned Zach Ertz was released waived by the Cardinals earlier this week. The Eagles might be one of the teams he's looking to land with. He'd like to play for a contender. We'll see, but it seems like Goddard, if not back this week, will be back soon enough. For the Browns at the Rams, Dorian Thompson-Robinson out with a concussion. Joe Flacco, the elite one, is in as the starting quarterback, signed with the practice squad November 20th. He will be making the start this week ahead of P.J. Walker, so don't know there's a huge downgrade, right? He's got a big arm, so hopefully those pieces, maybe they run the ball a little more against this Rams offense. Everyone's off the Rams injury report. That means Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, all those pieces will be ready to roll. It's a tough defensive matchup, though, right? Myles Garrett's a little nicked up, and Denzel Ward's a little nicked up on that side of the ball. Or Denzel Ward probably not going to play, but Myles Garrett seems like he will. So enough defensive pieces. The Broncos at the Texans. Tank Dell listed as questionable. Seems likely to play. That is the reporting coming out of Houston. Noah Brown listed as questionable. Has a chance to return. Dalton Schultz will not play. He's been ruled out with a hamstring injury. Brevin Jordan will move into the starting lineup in his stead. For the Broncos, everyone's good to go. Jerry Jeudy was on the injury report earlier this week, as were Marvin Mims and Will Lutz. They're both off the injury report for the start of the game. For the Kansas City Chiefs, Sunday Night Football, people. The Chiefs are at the Packers. They will play in Green Bay. And Jerick McKinnon was just ruled out a short time ago. Andy Reid said earlier, like Thursday, that he expected McKinnon to return from the groin injury that kept him out last week. He is not. He was ruled out just a short time ago. And more for Isaiah Pacheco in a pretty decent matchup for him. On the other side of the ball, Aaron Jones has been ruled out. He will not play this week. And so A.J. Dillon will be the lead back. Patrick Taylor will back him up. Jaden Reed, the rookie wide receiver, is listed as questionable. Seems likely to play. He has a chest issue. Pretty tough matchups for the Packers in general. But I do like Jaden Reed if he plays. Monday night's game, Travis Etienne Jr. has a chest issue, more like a rib issue is more accurate. They listed his chest. And he's expected to play. Doug Peterson said today, we do not have the final injury designations. They should be out any time now. But he is expected to play according to Doug Peterson and Jeremy Fowler of ESPN. Luke Farrell, tight end, reserve tight end. Hopefully you don't dig that deep either. On the other side of the ball, T. Higgins has been working fully and has been cleared to play, according to many reports. Still waiting for the final injury report, but I'm expecting him to come off the injury report when that is released. There you have it, week 13. In a nutshell. Man, it's getting down to brass tacks, people. We will be here for you throughout the rest of the regular season, so dial me up again next week for the week 14 injury report. In the meantime, good luck this week.